Key.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Karibuni sana. Welcome, welcome. We hope that you're doing well. Yeah, how is your Monday coming along? Would love to hear from you. Well, this morning it's a Wellness Monday here on Zoe Breakfast, and we're having a conversation with a professional that is none other than Isabel, a psychologist. And the conversation here is all about the impact of technology and screens on our children. If you've been with us since we began, we'd love to know your feedback. We'd love to know, what do you think? Are you a parent? Are you a guardian? Are you actually keen on what your children consume? And for how long? Ama wewe unawekea tu big screen hapo unasema jienjoy, yeah, mpaka mulale. Jibambe. But there are actually serious effects, and we've touched base on some, you know, about the social effects, about the biological effects. And right now we continue this conversation. So join us and feel free to ask any question. We thank you for your time this morning, actually even for the insights.
Thank you too.
Well, I didn't think there are very serious effects.
Oh, I was also astonished.
Yes. Do parents come to you and ask you about these things? Ama you just see ignorant parents? What? Eh?
As a matter of fact, we have very curious parents,
Yes.
and who are concerned about what their children interact with. Yeah.
Yes.
We have parents who are very concerned.
Yes.
And we have parents who take things easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're like, achana na yeye ni mtoto.
Acha ni mtoto tu, acha afurahie. So you've taken us through the two categories, the biological, the social. Is there any other category?
Yes, I was touching on psychological.
Yes.
And I mentioned how these symptoms cause other symptoms.
Yes.
And one way is, after having all these symptoms,
Yes.
we start finding now, because the child is unable to interact with the other children, their symptoms,
Yes.
like self-esteem,
Yes.
how they feel about themselves, starts to decline.
Yes.
Because they wonder, why am I feeling incapacitated or unable
Yeah.
to do this?
Yeah.
Am I that poor at this? What is causing all this?
Yes.
I must be very incompetent, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah. So their self-esteem declines, and you find that because their self-esteem has declined,
Yes.
their academic performance declines.
Declines as well.
The child is stressed.
Yeah.
They are maybe feeling all these symptoms, and their academic performance eventually will decline.
Yes.
And because of all this, you find that these symptoms now come back again to the biological area, because a stressed child is likely to get sick.
True.
A stressed child is likely to now start fights with others, or get into fights with other children. So the social aspect also becomes affected again.
Yes.
And the stressed child is now going into the spiritual area, likely to question, why are they even here?
Yes.
What is the reason of me being here?
Yes.
I can't do well in school. I'm fighting with people. I am getting sick. I keep wanting to, the only thing that makes me happy is the screens, or being in my room and watching this and that, or playing video games. That's the only thing that makes me feel good.
Yes.
Why am I even here then? So you see, when you talk of the spiritual dimension of well-being, is the sense of meaning that one has with their life. Where you derive your purpose from.
Yes.
Where do you derive your purpose from?
Yes.
So the child, when they start questioning their purpose or their existence, so I don't even understand. If I can't do anything right, then what's the point of me being here?
True.
So you find children committing suicide, taking drugs, to start or getting into bad company in attempt to find answers, exploring the dark web, maybe.
Yes.
Joining some communities, and
some cult groups, and all these kind of things.
Just in attempt to find a purpose and understand. So what started is something very simple, like just 2 minutes or 5 minutes of the screen, has now resulted and had all these big impacts. Now the child, you wonder, as a parent, you sit and you look, is this really my child? I didn't do anything wrong. I provided for them. I gave them love. I talked to them. I gave them advice. But I can't believe they're doing this now. I can't believe they committed suicide. I can't believe they ran away. Yeah?
Yes.
So screens have a big impact, more than we realize.
And I think just to comment on that, because that is a very serious issue. Mostly parents to be concerned. Even at Akama, we are talking about how long the child is, on that screen.
Yeah.
What are they consuming? Because, you've said something that is very important, that at times they will look into the web to try and find out who they are.
Yeah.
And their purpose here on earth. And it's so bad. I don't know whether I shared with you last time.
Yeah,
it was so sad that there was a game that children have been playing, especially abroad. And the last stage was committing suicide.
Wow, yeah, I remember that game.
You remember that game? I can't
do.
quite recall the name of that
Blue
game.
Shark or
Blue something.
Yeah.
So this game, your child is very busy in the house and they are playing a game. And this game has levels. There's level 1, level 2, level 3, all the way I don't know to what level. And the last level is about them, and it's just an instruction it's given to these children. They should go and jump from some. And there are options. You jumping from a cliff. You doing what? Killing yourself.
Sad.
So it's very sad.
Sad.
And I think the people also with that kind of mentality have taken advantage of technology, and they know parents are no longer, checking out what their children are watching.
Consumption.
So they consuming. So they get ways to bring out all this kind of things online, and our children consume, and that is the end of them.
Yeah, which also makes them prey to other things like sex trafficking, kidnapping.
Yes. I saw another one as well. They were trying to see how teenagers are kidnapped. Teenagers, young children. Some are even 12 years, 10 years.
Oh.
And they will be engaged by a stranger, and they tell them, I'm at this mall, maybe around T Mall, can you come?
Yeah.
And children innocently follow instructions from strangers. And now by the time they're coming to meet this stranger, this stranger is, is just acting out.
Yeah.
And they're showing their parents, now see. And they come, they find their parents there.
Wow.
So I believe what you're talking about, Isabel, this morning is something that every parent needs to take caution. They need to take this issue with the seriousness that it deserves.
Very true.
Yeah.
Very true. However, all is not lost.
That is the statement I was waiting for. There's a solution.
All is not
All
lost.
is not lost.
All is not lost. All is not lost.
Yeah.
Well, what I say is human beings are very resilient.
Yes.
We are resilient. That's why we've been here for all this while. We haven't gone extinct.
Yes.
We are resilient.
Yes.
And we are able to adapt and adjust.
Yeah.
The moment you realize that maybe I have been exposing my child to some form of harm without knowing, now we adjust and adopt new ways of making life more convenient, or life more healthy or safe.
Yes, actually safe is the word.
Safe is the word, yeah?
Yes.
Safe for these children. And one way is to find out how, now my child appears to be addicted to the screens.
Yes.
How do I go about it? How do I help them get back to, experiencing life like they should as a child, interacting with the environment and learning through doing, not by saying, by doing, and trying and failing and learning from mistakes. How do you do that? First, it's important to bring to the awareness of the child about what's happening. It's easiest to change a behavior if the individual knows what's happening. Yeah, don't come and say, no, not today, no screens anymore. The child will be like, why? And it's a very genuine question, and it's a valid question. Why? So that's the point for you now. Instead of making the child defensive at a go, you just come in at a friendly level, their level, and talk to them and say, hey, have you noticed how nowadays you don't go to play anymore? Have you noticed how?
Sorry, these are children between the age of what and what age gap?
That's a good question. And, well, if it's a child who is maybe a toddler, it's easy to now just start now introducing, not just remove, you remove and introduce something else. You replace it with something else.
So you have to replace it with something else.
Yes, you don't just remove and leave them like that. You'll get some really serious reactions. You need to step by step, little by little, taper it down
Yes.
and introduce something else to replace
Yes.
what you're taking away.
Yeah.
For example, if it's screens,
Yeah.
you now start taking them outside for walks. Yeah. Hey, instead of watching Cocomelon today,
Yes.
could we go to the swimming pool
Yes.
and swim? Maybe they might accept, maybe they might refuse.
Yes.
If they refuse, if they accept, good.
Good.
If they refuse, what would you like to do instead? Let's choose an activity that you enjoy. Yeah. So that it's from them.
Yes.
So they'll own that activity more.
Yes.
For example, they'll say, I'd like to go and visit grandma.
Yeah.
Good. It's from them, so
Yes.
let's go and visit
Let's
grandma.
go to see grandma.
Yeah. So if it's a child who you can resonate with, and it's a child who is able to understand the concept of addiction and the dangers of screens, it's very good to start from the point of talking to them about, just don't tell them like you have been addicted to screens of late and I do not like it. No, you come and ask them, do you notice how of late you sleep very late playing games? You see, isn't it affecting you? Is it affecting you maybe at school in any way? Maybe at first they'll deny and they'll say, no, I'm good. Because instantly when you're trying to bring about change, there's some resistance to change. So they'll be like, but then you continue probing and showing them other ways that the screens could be affecting them. For example, you could say, and what about your friend so-and-so? They stopped coming over. Are you guys friends anymore? Like, no, we had a fight. So you remember, because you now know that one of the effects of screens is that it could lead to social wrangles or wrangles with friends and family. You ask, why do you think that's the case? What happened? What brought about the fight? And they'll tell you what happened, and then you'll find a way to connect it with the screens. Maybe they'll tell you, we just got into a fight. Oh, have you been feeling angry lately and irritable? Yeah, people just get on my nerves a lot lately. And then you go like, when did this start? For a while now. Maybe a month or so. Maybe after this and this happened. And little by little, step by step, you'll be able to take them down to see how the screens have been affecting them. It might take time, it may take a short while, but please don't stop. When you find some resistance, find a way around it and lead them back to seeing the truth. When they've seen the truth and they've accepted and they've gone like, oh, yeah, I think you're right. Now you ask, what could we do about it? What do you think we should do? And they most likely say, I don't know. And they'll say, now you'll come in and ask, would you like me to tell you? Because sometimes as children, it's hard, even us as adults, somebody telling us what to do every time. It becomes like, it's not something pleasant being told what to do at the time. But if you ask for help, the advice is, or the help is much more appreciated. So would you like me to to give you some advice? Yeah. What do you think I should do? Yeah, there's this study, or there have been studies that have been done. So now they're not looking at it like it's your assumption or it's your notion or opinion. It's actual facts. There have been these studies that have been done. I could actually show you the videos. I could show you the links where you could go and find them. But they've shown that when someone feels addicted, these are the things that you can do to get better. And the first step is maybe taper it down little by little. Maybe if you spend like a whole 3 hours playing some video game, you could now start doing 2 hours or 1 hour and a half. Go taping it down, taper it down.
As you reduce.
Then now, okay, they'll agree. Then you'll say, well, now what will you be doing with that time? What will you be doing? Because they just can't stay idle. So what did you used to enjoy before? What do you think are some things that you could enjoy? You could say, we could go to the park and watch some animals. Or I could go and play with my cousin. Or I could go to Shago. Or I could go and do some homework and study. Or I could read. or I could help with chores during that time.
Yes.
There are so many activities that would help children to learn. I could help in the farm, in the shamba. I could help with this and that. Yeah. So as you're doing that, you're helping the child know that there are other ways you can feel good.
Yeah.
Not just the screens. There are other ways that can help you to feel good. Maybe not as good as the screens made you feel, but just good enough to want to do it again and again. Yeah. And little by little, you'll find that if it's not something you forced on them, and they chose that this is what I want to do, they'll want to do it over and over, and you'll continue finding that the time spent on the screens decreases.
Yes.
Yeah. So it reaches a point where it's at a healthy level. It's not too much, and it's not like you're telling them no screens at all. Because screens are part of our lives now. Schools are being done online. Lessons are being done online. And screens are not all that bad. There are some benefits.
There's some benefits, by the way. There's some benefits. And maybe before we get to talk about the benefits, I've realized also there's some companies, even in here in Kenya, they've gone, they've gone they've gone a notch higher, whereby they even safeguard what your children watch on TV, and even you can set a time limit. You can set a time limit on your TV. Once the children they tune in, this is how long they will watch, and it will switch off. If it has to go on, as a guardian, you have to put a password. And internet also.
That's good. I like that they are also bringing up these initiatives because they acknowledge that there is a problem.
Benefits.
Maybe
one or two.
Actually, I'll name. Okay, one or two. One could be that screens help us to connect.
Really?
For example, if you're working in maybe the States and your child is in Kenya, you'll connect. The easiest way is maybe a video call. So you connect through the screens. See, remember we talked about the connectedness. Now we are doing it in a manner that is helpful and more beneficial, not in a manner that isolates them from their surrounding and their kins and friends. So use them in a way. You see that limit that is healthy or allowed as per the age. You now utilize it using activities that are more beneficial, like education programs. There's some TV shows that educate children, and they help them to learn, maybe to count about some history or facts, or science. So those educative programs are very good if you could utilize those. And the screens also help children to learn some of their strengths nowadays. You'll help them to learn some strengths. If it's a child who's tech savvy, that's something that they could explore later on and utilize it as their career path.
Wow, those are serious benefits right there. So you can decide that my child is only consuming educational stuff.
Or it could also be educational stuff that is music. In terms of music, it doesn't have to be boring. Some music that is bringing some lesson or message, or helping them to feel connected maybe to a higher power, or helping them to feel connected as a family. We danced together and so that kind of thing.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, we hope that you're learning this morning. We'd love to hear from you. What is your experience with your child? Do you get into the house and they don't even notice you? Their eyes are just on the screen.
Or you call them.
Or you just have to call them for them to know that you're around. So we'd love to know your experience. Please write to us, connect with us on Facebook and YouTube, and also on our website www.zoetv.co.ke. And we'll be glad even to be able to hear from you. So, I don't know whether there's anything else you'd want us to learn, mostly on the impact on technology and screens. I hope there's nothing we're leaving out before we transition to another conversation.
I would say much has been covered.
Yes.
It's also good to take it one bit at a time. I'm sure there's still much we haven't uncovered about screens. Even as scientists and researchers, knowledge is developed every day. Just because we've had this show and this discussion doesn't mean everything has been covered.
True.
I'd encourage the parents to keep learning and keep being curious. What else do I not know?
Yes. Awesome, awesome. So back to your company.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I believe you do even these talks to parents. And
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
So what are the some of the services you offer to your company? Let me see whether I'll remember this. Is it
Psyche?
Psyche.
You're close. Yeah. You're close. Psyche intervention.
Yes. Tell us about Psyche intervention. Where you're located. What are your services? What kind of testimonials have you seen so far for the parents who come for advices? Yeah, and we'll be glad to know that. Any social media, social media. Let's know that first.
Well,
Yes.
I'm just grateful to say that so far I've been able to work with parents in terms of creating awareness and helping them know which approaches they could use with children who are going through certain challenges. Maybe it could be emotional challenges or behavioral challenges. And I have been very happy to see that some parents have come back and said that my daughter now no longer gets nightmares.
Wow, that is very good feedback.
Yeah, it is. Or they're now able to control their emotions better. They are now very much able to set boundaries with their friends, and they're not easily influenced. They're able to say no. Yeah. And one thing that I really, really liked is that the children themselves would say, some parents would call me and say, my daughter wants to talk to you. Or my son wants to talk to you. They think that you can help them. I've tried to talk to them about this issue, but they say they specifically want. They'd like to talk to you first so they can see how to go about it. So this includes, this connection that I have built has been through some programs, including some emotional awareness or emotional intelligence programs for children. And also,
so those are custom made for children?
Yes.
Okay.
Custom made for children. You know, emotional intelligence is something that really impacts and builds on the intelligence itself, IQ levels of the child, and helps them to be more productive as an adult when they grow up. And they also have boundary formations programs for children. How do you go about building those lines with people? How do you go about letting people in? It's not just about cutting people off or building those lines or walls. How about letting people in? At what level do you let each individual in? So that you don't find, like you said, children being being targeted through social media. How do you set those boundaries? How do you handle things like communicating politely? How do you deal with bullies? So general life skills. And then now it comes to individual therapy. Individual psychological therapy or psychological counseling for children, because it's important, yes, to be psychoeducated, but it's also important to know what is going on inside you and resolving what is going on inside you, so that you can be able now to adopt new information and new behavior. And then also family therapy. Family therapy
as a whole now.
Yes.
The dad, the mom, children, all together.
As a whole, because the child is part of that family. And if the child starts adopting new behaviors, but then goes back home where the same environment, it's the same environment, nothing has changed. The mother could be going through something, father could be going through something, and this, because they're all going through something, they bring the child back to where they were. So for example, if the mother is depressed and the child is trying to connect with the mother, see, it won't work out. So they all need to heal and work together.
Wow, that's good to hear. So how can somebody be able to reach you? What are your social media pages?
One can reach me through Facebook. Isabel Wangiti. You can reach me through LinkedIn. Isabel Kinya. You can reach me via my number. Okay, if I share it?
Yeah, sure.
0708 146 415. That's my number, my mobile number. You can reach me and call me or text me or WhatsApp me. I'll be able to get back to you.
Awesome. Isabel, thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank
we really
you too.
appreciate you, Sana.
Thank you for having
Keep
me.
on doing the good job
Thank
in
you.
regards to your family and to your team.
Asante.
Manze, endelea.
Asante sana.
Awesome. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of the program this morning, and we appreciate each and every one of you. We hope that you have learned something. You can always go ahead and write to us and tell us what is your biggest takeaway here. And feel free to reach out to Isabel. Invite her to talk to your kids, to your events. You know, you speak at events, mothers' events, and family events. Yeah, churches, so that this awareness iende kabisa.
Sorry to interrupt you.
Yes, so that people get to know what we are dealing with. Yeah, so as much as we have embraced technology, we know what to do with it. So asanteni sana. We hope that you are blessed in the morning by the first devotion, and mubarikiwe sana. Enjoy your time. We have amazing programs coming up. Until tomorrow, same time, same place. God bless. Salute.